Welcome to Man-O-Rama. And tonight we're talking about how guys can be honest. And this is a key thing because sometimes we're a little bit too honest and sometimes we're not. And depending on how that goes is how we determine it. Yeah, it's gonna be a great episode. I hope everyone has a fun time. It's y'all are gonna have a fun time. Come in. It's a bunch of guys just talking shit, and we're cool. We're cool like that. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Join us. Welcome to Man-O-Rama with technical difficulties every once in a blue moon, pretty much every week. This is the 84th episode, The Value of Being Honest. I am hosted by a group of awesome guys.
Do I have to tell the truth? Damn it.
My video was freezing at one end, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I went to the old one. Maybe the new intro, because I put Tom DM'd me. He's like, hey, what it is to enter. And I didn't know if he was talking about being a Freemason or what he was talking about.
That'd be cool.
And then he's like, no. So I put him, he filmed a clip of him and he joined into the new intro.
I messed up the show. Darn it.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. That's all I got to say. Oh, man. Let's go around the table, everyone. Mike, how's your week been?
Hot. It's
Mm.
been so hot. I don't know if I can just keep up with the heat and all the kind of stuff. It's making me all sticky in places and gooey. But I'm not doing pretty good, Steve. Yeah.
In keeping
Someone
with our
said-
telling the truth theme.
My underbelly feels like a sweaty, forbidden place.
God, at least he has pants on.
Yes.
I know.
That you know of.
So right before the show started, Steve comes on with the camera on, shirtless. He just did construction. We all came up with all this like OnlyFans jokes. He's like, I just did construction, guys. Tom, how's your week?
food.
Sounded like an 80s porn openings, but mine's interesting. And by the way, if you're ever sweaty and you're a guy, I mentioned this Mike earlier, have 2 sticks of deodorant, one for the underarms and one for the undercarriage. Always 2 sticks. You don't want the same stick for both. That's just wrong.
Duly noted.
Yeah.
Steve, how's your week?
Lather.
Yes.
It's a lather.
Andy, how's your
Yes.
week been?
I'm having severe thunderstorms.
Oh.
Lots of rain,
Oh, you
lots
lucky
of
bugger.
lightning. It's very interesting. So hopefully, my lights have flickered a couple times. So hopefully, it lasts. Well, the stream lasts. My connection lasts.
Yeah. I will say this. Thunderstorms, when I took my wife to Florida for our anniversary, one of the years, she's never seen like a Florida, like an East Coast thunderstorm. And I love hearing thunder. It's the most relaxing thing. I don't know if it's because you grew up on it, but yeah, I was sitting there. I was sitting next to the pool where there's lightning and thunderstorms at the hotel, and she's like, "Get in!" from the balcony up above. I was like, "Whatever." It was the most relaxing thing. Steve, now that you don't have any food in your mouth, how's your week been?
Oh, dude, it's been fantastic. I've started working finally since the Zamboni
There you
job.
go.
And just doing construction, spending a lot of time in the garden. The tomatoes and peppers are starting to come up. I think a deer's been in the garden, and I'm fairly certain I can jump from my balcony onto the back of a deer in the garden should I need to. I'm gonna surprise it because you can't shoot this time of year.
You gotta film that.
Dude,
I know.
I've got a whole
Rodeo.
bunch of ideas I'll be filming. It's been a good week, Steve. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Aside from eating
Okay,
a
that's
deer, his next attempt will be riding a deer.
You don't say. Vincent, how's your week been?
My week has been positively shitty. No, not really shitty. Been fair to middling. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Because this episode is all about the truth, so I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Unless I'm sure I can get away with it. But yeah, the weather's been shitty, and the lawnmower broke, so I gotta get that fixed. And my lawn is looking like shit.
And that's an expression I haven't heard for a long time. Fair to Midland.
You are welcome. But yeah, other than that, it's been okay. But you know, the little things that aggravate you, they've just been piling up. Nothing
right.
serious, but you know, I gotta bitch about it because it's me.
It's all good. Ordy, how's your week been?
Just still making ball stew. It's hot. It's damn hot.
I forget
Damn
when you
hot,
say
I said.
ball stew. I know what you're talking about, but my brain is like just what? What kind of stew is that?
Yeah, that's called a repressed memory.
That is, yes, totally.
But you know what? The outpouring of love on Twitter for, my suspended account, it fills me with joy.
There you go.
Is it
Take it with
nourishing
a
your
grain of
soul?
salt.
It is nourishing my soul. Because I was getting kind of down, and then the whole free Ordy campaign started, so I feel good about that. Anytime Elon tweets, everyone's a free Ordnance Packard.
Yeah.
I mean the computer company. My week has been hectic. It's been ups and downs with my job and people coming into work while we're doing construction. That's a little annoying, but whatever. Nursing my wife. She's been kind of dealing with a cold, so I'm kind of like giving her soup and all that stuff, and she's all like, I want this, and I was like, okay. So I've been a good husband. Good husband. Yes. But not a bad week. It's been pretty interesting. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, so tonight we're gonna talk about honesty, of how it's a very interesting topic, and I don't know who came up with it. Maybe me. I don't know. Probably me. Maybe. I don't know.
Might have been.
But we're gonna get into yeah, right.
Honesty,
We're
it's
gonna
hardly
get
ever heard,
into.
but mostly what I need.
I know, right? But we're going to get into right away because this is going to be interesting. If it ever plays. If it doesn't play, well, guess what? It ain't going to play. So the Don't Be That Guy is not playing video. So Twitter.
Twitter.
So
It's the Twitteriest.
yeah. So tonight's going to be a very interesting one because it is the perfect example of
Nice
don't
beer,
be a
Steve. Do they
simp.
make that for men?
Well, X-Men.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right into the
burn.
So we're going to get into Don't Be That Guy because the video is not going to show. Watch it going to pop up right away.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not working out right quick. I'm having tough technical difficulties. Hold up. Talk amongst yourself as I refresh right quick because this is not
Okay.
funny. Yeah. Take over, Mike.
So tonight on the show, we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff that may or may not apply to you. And if it doesn't, that's okay. Because if it does, well, that's even better. As I'm just trying to blah, blah, blah along, trying to fill up the time. Exactly. The
And he's
way
trying
that
to
I know
sound
how.
like a TV announcer.
That's right, Chet.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Going to the old radio voice. Morning FM radio. All right.
Yeah.
The old morning shows.
So,
Other on
Cool.
MOR.
exactly.
WKRC in Cincinnati kind of thing, you know? So,
As God is
so
my
as
witness, I thought
Steve-
turkeys could fly.
yeah, no.
Oh, that's a good one.
The phone cops know what I've done
maniacs.
here.
That's the reason I wanted to become a DJ from that show, believe it or not. Oh, try to go
Yeah.
to
Arthur
college. Street
Carlson's
Fighter.
greatest line.
Oh yeah.
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Arthur
Steve,
Carlson's greatest line. Yeah.
what are you doing in construction today? Or what did you do in construction today?
Well, we are starting to build a house for
Right.
this family because Canada. I don't know if anyone's heard, but Canada needs houses.
Yeah,
And
big
we're building a
needs women.
house near Kelowna.
Yeah.
And so the first thing you do to pour basements is you go in there with cranes and start craning in equipment and you pour cement and you use cranes for the trusses. And so when you're putting cranes down, you put out stabilizer pistons to help balance it. They're like legs and they go down. But this ground has a lot of earth and sand and mud. And so the legs will sink right down into the mud unless you build, which is what I'm doing today, out of wood and 2x4s and plywood, great big sandwiches of wood, like pads. And these pads increase the footprint of the leg for the crane so that it doesn't sink too far into the mud, and they help stabilize. So basically, the crane pad for the stabilizers, for all the craning, because it's a pretty big house. We're going to be building it probably all year. And so crane pads, lots of cranes, lots of big heavy equipment, and lots of mud. So we're going to need lots of support. And that's what
Don't we
it
all?
looks like.
Yes. Lovely.
But yes, we do have we need
So
to
did
do
you
more
get the
houses eventually, so.
did you get the footing down for the basement? Or is there going to be
No.
a basement?
There is going to be a basement, and this is all prep work before we actually show up on site. So I'm just at my place doing all the prep work.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, Bill.
And he froze.
He did.
So,
but yes,
Boy,
yes.
I didn't think Canada was cold this time of year.
But I'll be living when we go down to the site. It's about an hour from my house, so I'm going to be living in the RV at the construction site. Yeah,
makes work easier, man.
Totally 100% prepared.
And it's beside Okanagan Lake, right beside Lake Okanagan.
Oh,
that's
beauty!
Nice.
So you want to go for a swim? Just freaking walk right down to the beach, hop on in. You're all set, man.
Yeah.
I think we should get Steve to commit to that. If he gets up to 3,000 subscribers, he has to eventually build himself a house half into a hill with a round door.
There we go.
What did I
Hobbit house?
Hey,
Hobbit house.
Yes.
If you
I'd
take
help
my
with
meaning,
that.
Mr. Frodo.
I feel like I just missed a whole bunch of shenanigans just right now. I had internet
Sort
problems.
of.
What are the chances of that?
I know,
I know.
right? Let's see if it actually works, guys.
No, I
Okay.
meant shenanigans.
Twitter.
Oh,
Twitter.
I don't know why, because
Okay.
whatever. Like it wouldn't actually allow me to do anything on my end, but
Yeah.
I know, right? But here we go. Don't be that guy.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun, guys. I trust me, it is.
Don't be that guy. Don't do anything on your end.
Yeah. So here's Pokimane, who now has become the scent magnet of idiots. I don't know if anyone can see down below, but she says, "See you in the
She's got pants
gym."
on.
And one guy says 500,000 to play games with this may be worth it.
What?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like the leggings, but no.
Here's the other thing. We're gonna get into this. This is the prologue to what is about to happen.
Okay.
All right. So this is what I found out online. And this is where we can spend a few minutes talking about this, because the next slide I'm about to show you is ridiculous. This guy, supposedly there is a bidding out to play a video game with Pokimane. Okay, and
God.
here's one thing. I kind of like her in the sense she knows who the simps are and she's just using them for money. So more power to you, but you're a
No,
fucking idiot. You're an idiot for dumping money. on this.
God.
She
Oh, the
says,
idiots are the ones that pay for it. Yeah.
exactly. She said the only time you can pay to play with me, laugh my ass off. All right. This is $2,500. Now, guys, take a wild guess. What do you think the bidding is to play a video game with her, and why it's stupid?
You can play a video game with anybody. Let's be honest. I mean, if you do
Exactly.
online gaming, it's like, what the
Yeah.
hell? And it's free unless you're paying your fees of the internet and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
Is she
No,
gonna be?
I mean, that's a good question.
Train.
I mean, does she look good in the leggings? Sure, I'm looking at a picture here, but I've seen girls look better than yeah. So
Yes.
Guys,
No,
this is
now,
I'm gonna
I
show
might
you-
be wrong, but I mean, she is raising money for immune deficiency. But then again, sure, it says right here, latest bid is like, $2,550. That's great and all. But you know what? I've seen better gamers do like speed runs and stuff like that raised way more money.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking like in the millions of dollars for people just pitching in, to a good cause, as opposed to, this fop who probably hardly plays games whatsoever and just basically goes online just looking
Elden
pretty.
Ring
But I
speed
could
run.
be wrong.
But yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing, guys. This
Okay.
is what's going to make it bonkers. Because here's the thing. It is for a good cause. All right? It
Yes.
is. Here's the problem. A lot of guys, this is why I'm like, guys, don't be simps. Because you're just pushing your money. Like whatever that one chick, the guy spent $75,000 on new phones and cash to send it to her. Whatever this other chick was. Like, yeah, it goes to a good cause, but these guys, they just want to play a video game with her. There's more to
Yeah.
life. Now, here is what the updated image of the bids are. And I looked into this. This is legit. $500,000.
What?
Andy,
What?
where do you see any problems, or what are your thoughts of this?
Okay. What? Do you actually have to have $500,000 to bid $500,000?
Yes.
I mean, anybody can say that they've got $500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like eBay. I mean, how many times have you seen on eBay somebody bids on something like, oh crap, I don't have the money to actually pay for that? That could be a thing. So I don't know if or what if it's a friend of hers that is bidding on that and putting those numbers in to try and get other people to. I don't buy it. I don't
Probably.
look.
Yeah.
Look.
Prop it up.
See, there's about 8 billion people on the planet. Half of them are female, so that's a lot of vaginas out there. And so even if you take 10% of 4 billion, that's an awful lot of vaginas that are still available to you if you're a halfway decent looking guy, can have a little bit of charisma, a little bit of charm, a little bit of swag, or a lot of money.
Yes.
And, you can find a hell of a lot cheaper. So yeah, I'm not buying it.
Being able to shitpost helps too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Andy is onto something. I didn't think about
Shitposting lets
this
you punch up.
when I was looking at this, that it could be her friends doing this.
Tough
Because
to
let's
bid.
be honest, there's not many guys that can dish out $500,000 of their own cash. Just, hey, I have $500,000.
If I'm paying anybody $500,000, there's going to be a great many of my unborn children drying on somebody's face,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah,
just for one day. Because if I'm paying $500,000, it's going to be for a week.
I'd
Maybe
do a
some-
month.
Maybe some oil barons
I was
could
gonna
be
say,
to
how about
buy
the
or
rest of
something.
her life?
But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem with this that I have is look, if you're trying to raise money for awareness of something, I'm all for it. Cool. I'll support it. I'll back it up. I'll share it. All that stuff. No problem. It's the fact that when you get women like her, these Twitch thoughts, as they call it, which I didn't know for the longest time what that meant. And I actually asked one of my friends, I was like, what is it like? What does a thought mean? He just looked at me like, you're a dude, right? I was like, yeah, I just don't, I don't know if this is like, what?
That hoe over there.
That's what it finally dawned on me. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, that's how disconnected I am with some social media stuff.
You're
I'm
so
like,
naive.
I'm ignorant, naive, whatever. And, but when you get someone like her that gets simps all the time, they're just going to dish money out. And sometimes you're not going to get the bid. They're in hopes of, like, if I spend $2,000 or I spend $500,000, I get to spend a day with her. It's like, what is that going to do for you? It's like,
Yeah.
we already know you're going to lose at the video game with her because she's actually really good at video games. Maybe she uses cheats. I think she cheats on her games. I don't know. But
if I'm spending $500,000, if I'm spending $500,000, she better be staying at my place for quite a few months, making me breakfast in bed. And, and if I was not married, she would better be putting out.
Yes.
I agree.
Because
Fix
that's a
Fix
lot.
me an egg sandwich and then please me
Exactly.
orally.
And let me win the video games.
Yes.
Yes.
Because if I'm spending that kind of money, you better be living with me for a year. I'm sorry, because basically I paid for a year-long vacation with that kind of cash.
Yeah.
What? That's 100 years for me, or 50 anyway.
Well,
we got another
10 grand a
50 there.
year. 10 grand a year.
Yeah,
Buddy.
exactly.
So the other
Exclusive
don't
vacation.
be that guy. I didn't want to post the
Hang
tweets
on.
just because.
I got thoughts on that.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
thoughts or thoughts?
One.
Yeah, which one?
Thought. Yes.
Okay.
A little bit
Okay.
of both.
One, you know what? Cut a check in her name. That way you don't look like a fucking simp.
Yep.
Don't donate to her thing, but that, Two, as long as we're being honest, I've made no bones about in the past. I am familiar with the brothels in Nevada. I've been in
we
nice
know.
places. I've been in the dumps.
Wow.
You can find a woman as attractive, if not more, than Pokemon. And if you go in there not acting like a whale, you get a zero knocked off that. If you just look like a regular guy, that $10,000 quote for an hour becomes a $1,000 quote for an hour. Now break that down, 500,000 hours. If you take even the ones who think they're platinum posties, probably about $2,000. That's 10 days worth. If you were going 24/7, go in, take a couple pops. You can spend an entire year in one for that amount of money and have a wondrous variety of styles and ethnicities and skill and talents.
Yeah, but do they make an egg sandwich?
You can, you know what?
I like Vincent. The thing I love about Vincent is anytime we say something, Vincent will be like, well, do they do this? Like the egg sandwich. That's awesome.
See, no, we say
that's better.
The egg sandwich is extra.
But like, I'll go into this. Mandy Rose, she's an ex-wrestler, WWE. Now, somebody actually paid her $55,000. She actually did make that off one fan, so that's real. That's actually proven. So this one, we don't know if that's real amount or not. But yeah, she made $55,000.
No, the 500,000. That is a real. I looked it up. It's a legit. It's an actual bid. I think it's one of her friends that did the bid thing. Andy, I think you're right on that one. But I did want to say one thing, and I'm not going to post the tweets or the X or whatever you want to call. What do you tweets X?
Right.
I don't know what you would call it, but
I call it tweets.
the number one, don't be that guy. Don't be Destiny.
Whatever.
Oh
gonna say that right now.
no,
Just-
not said. Yep.
We're not going to post his tweets. Just don't be that guy. Don't be
Destiny, whose ex-wife brings the milkshakes to the yard.
He's
we all know.
To everybody
I
but
don't-
him. Yeah.
Just
I have no idea what
briefly,
this is.
there was one guy. I was on a stream a few months ago, and they go, "Oh yeah, because she left him because of this streamer." I was like, "No, it's because he's a beta cuck. That's why. It had nothing to do. Whatever the guy, it was directly towards him. Destiny is a cuck, and don't be that. That's the other thing, guys. Don't be a cuck. Don't. No.
I'm just
You think Jack
grateful
Murphy was a
Orty
cuck?
could do the
Destiny
math
is
quick.
a cuck.
See,
Yeah.
even if
Yeah.
she shits diamonds from a platinum asshole, don't be a cuck.
These two guys are what? The guys I watch here in Canada, they're Abba and Preach. They make fun of him. All the time. Like they called him out a few times. Like just
Johnny Depp thought his pooped that, but found out didn't poop
Yeah.
diamonds. She pooped poop.
Yep.
Right.
Why does that smell funny?
YouTube has a great point, Steve. Herc says, for that kind of money, I want her to clean the gutters, paint the house, and do some landscaping.
Exactly. That's
Exactly.
Especially my landscape.
Have you guys watched the videos? If you had 24 hours with us, it's like two chicks. They're like, if you had 24 hours with us, what would you do? And it's always like another clip of a guy who goes, I want you to do this, this, and this, and like a lawn service. My wife's like watching the beginning of me watching it on Instagram. She's like, excuse me? I was like, no, keep watching. She thought it was funny. She thought it was funny at the end because the guy's like, because I watched one where the guy's like, I want you to make me a pastrami sandwich, meatloaf, macaroni cheese. And she's like, that's actually pretty funny. I was like, yeah. For 24 hours, like guys just, maybe 30 for 30 seconds, sure. But the
way
rest,
to a man's
do my
heart is to
laundry.
his stomach.
I know, right?
Exactly.
Nah, the way to a man's heart is through his rib cage.
Well, that too.
With an egg
Or the
salad
colon.
sandwich.
The next sounds.
Suzanne.
But the first question I have for tonight is because I always like to do ones that we kind of did mistakes, because here on Man-O-Rama, we're not all perfect. We don't have the right answers. Some of us may as we get older, but we like to let people know who are tuning in, who are new. Hey, look, we've all made mistakes and we're not perfect, but we learn from our mistakes. Is this one. And I just realized I really screwed up on the graphic on this one.
Honest.
Yeah, Honestat. I'm doing all this
Love
on
that
my
movie.
phone.
It's like a thermostat, but more honest.
Exactly.
It doesn't
honest
honest
thermostat.
75 degrees. It is 75 degrees.
Yeah.
It's a honestat. It helps you hone knives.
So,
Yeah.
for you guys, when was there a funny moment of being honest? Honestat. That sounds way better. Booter? What am I, Canadian here? Honestat.
Hey,
At the wrong time. Canadian Spider-Man.
Funny moment being honest. Wow. Yes, actually, yes. It was during an interview. I was interviewing to teach English actually in Japan, and the interview was in Western Australia, and I had been partying with a Scotsman for like backpacking for 3 weeks straight, and I went into the interview in the morning. He dropped me off,
You were
and
drunk, weren't
I
you?
was yes. Yes. And so the guy, and this was a serious interview. I was all dressed up and respectable looking. This was in Perth in Western Australia. And the guy said, well, coming to teach English, do you have any problems speaking in public? And I said, no, actually the problem is getting me to shut up. And true. And then the second, what was it? He asked me, how have you had have you had many occasions to deal with confrontations or disgruntled customers? And I said, dude, I worked in a ski resort in Whistler. Shit, yeah, I've had all kinds of disgruntled, and I did say shit in the interview. And I still got the job. Got the job because they just needed warm bodies.
Awesome.
I think.
Mm.
And I do speak. I enunciate. I do enunciate. And the Canadian accent, there was a Texan guy who went. He got the job too, a guy from Texas. And after 2 days of people complaining of his accent, they had to send him home.
What?
Nah.
No, true story.
I love that.
Mike.
Yeah. So, funny moment when I was being honest at the wrong time. Yeah, you know what? Okay. Funny story. There was this place where I was doing roofing at this one place, like about maybe 10 minutes away. And I was pretty good at the job, but unfortunately they were doing a bunch of layoffs. And there were a couple of Mexican ladies that had worked there. You know, one of them was extremely good at her job, and she actually trained me, you know, to the point where, you know, I was actually really, really good. There was another Mexican lady that also worked alongside us that, well, she wasn't really too good with her job. However, she liked to associate with upper management, if you know what I'm talking about, kind of like pokey kind of thing. And so, anyway, things kind of happened to get around and whatnot. And yeah, and you know, she would just enjoy being on the inside track with a lot of people over there at work. So the day came along, a bunch of us were getting laid off, which included myself as well, and you know, kind of a sad day and all that. And unfortunately, as I was walking out, she was like, "Bye, Mike," and I'm like, goodbye, you vacuous son of a freaking."
Just go ahead and say
He
it.
went. Yeah.
Ooh.
Andy.
He was that mad, he ruined his internet connection.
Oh man.
Was there a time when being honest was a bad thing? Well, I remember in school one time, we were taking turns reading. There was a group project. They had to write a story, things like that. And this group next to me, like, they wrote this really horrible story about a dog that made no sense whatsoever. And the person reading the story was, well, he was kind of reading like this, and that dog, and that. I'm like, and so then the teacher asked for
He was going
an
full
honest
shatter.
critique. Yeah, she asked for an honest critique, and I thought I was supposed to give an honest critique. I wasn't supposed to give an honest critique, and then there was another time when I said something to a friend of mine because there was a kid in school who was, you know, rather like little light in the loafers and kind of thing, and like, you know, and I said, so I think he's gay. And the teacher said, "What did you say?" I said, "I think he's gay." That didn't go over too well either. And the other thing too is, like, if you're dating a girl and she asks you if the dress looks fat, makes her look fat, and you're honest and you don't say, "No, it's actually the fat that makes you look fat," that doesn't go over too well either. It's like, you know, sometimes you're supposed to lie.
I know 5 fat people, and you're 4 of them.
Ordy.
So, those of you in the older crowd, especially in the U.S., will remember the DARE program. Remember the DARE to keep kids off drugs?
Oh yeah.
How could we
Well, you'd go
forget?
through these little like benchmark things. So, like they'd hand out, you'd get this little tchotchke and you know whatever. And the cop was handing one thing. It was like a plastic Altoids tin. I'm like, sweet, I can put my weed in it. And 2 months later,
Good.
that cop busted me for smoking weed and said, "You should have put it in that little container."
What?
The little container he
Nice.
gave me for the DARE program, he busted me for. So anyway, that was me being honest. Hey, I can put my weed in this. And then when he busted me for weed, he should have put it in a little container I gave you. Just being a dick back. So you know, things. It was things coming full circle. This is a story of things coming full circle, Steve.
I will say this right before someone actually in the chat, Suzanne, she actually asked a really good important question on Rumble. I'm monetized on Rumble, so I have emojis. If you type in right as you're about to type into the chat on Rumble, there's a smiley face. There's a bunch of little images I have that I put in there that you can put in. It's the same thing like YouTube, but mine's cooler. Mine's straight up cooler because I have this as an emoji right here. YouTube won't allow that, from what I've been told.
Oh,
It's
Mom's emoji.
toxic. But Vincent,
Oh, where do I begin?
egg salad sandwich.
Sandwich with a B, my friend.
Sorry, sandwich.
There's 2 M's in sandwich.
Okay, this is an argument for another day. But yeah, when I was a young private back in the army, back when there was a West Germany, we were out in the field one time. Yeah, this was back
Never
in
should
the
let
80s.
those 2 fuckers get together.
Goddamn right. And when you're out in the field, you have to pull security. So the sergeant of the guard will make up a guard roster, and you go out with your weapon. They give you live ammo, and you just walk around and make sure, nobody's fucking with any shit. And you sit in the guard tent and smoke cigarettes, and then go out and do a roving patrol. You do it for like 2 hours. So one night, me and my bro, we're walking our patrol. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. And we're getting ready to go off shift. And this strange captain who we didn't know, who ended up being from battalion, he was one of the new guys. He comes up to us and we're like, halt, advance to be recognized and all this shit. He didn't know the countersign. So I sent my buddy off because we didn't have working radios at the time. And captain keeps moving like he wants to come in. And I'm like, sir, you need to stop right there. He's like, and what if I don't? I'm like, well, sir, I'm going to go get the sergeant of the guard. And he's like, well, why are you going to do that? And I said, well, sir, you looked away about 205 pounds, and it would be awfully hard for me to drag your dead ass by myself. Amazingly, I did not get in trouble for that.
Really?
Really, I did not.
That's funny.
Commander, he called me into the office, or into his CP tent the following morning. He's like, next time you do something like that, be a little bit more tactful. I'm like, yeah, sir. But fuck that. Fuck that guy, too.
This is the Cold War. There's no tact in Cold Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
Or hot ones.
The cold and the hot war.
I actually... Did I miss anyone else? Tom? Oh, wait,
Yeah.
Tom. Our own Michael Moore.
I'm still waiting for my Michael Moore money.
You do. If you walked up to him, you could look like him. I'm dead
I've lost a lot of weight. Damn it, no.
He lost a lot of weight too.
Stuff some pillows in your shirt and be his doppelganger for special events and shit.
Now Michael Moore he's got that Kevin Smith thing going on where he's got looks all drawn and deflated and stuff. He looks like
his face sinks in.
Does he wear stupid ass shorts too?
Or a hockey fucking jersey?
Yeah, hockey jerseys and fucking shorts that go to his
I used
ankles.
to like Kevin Smith. Oh well.
Everybody
we all
used
did
to like
at
Kevin
one
Smith.
point.
Yeah.
As a filmmaker.
But
I
anyways,
used to like Jack Black, but not after.
Yeah, I deleted all his stuff.
I have never liked Jack Black.
I liked him in Tropic Thunder. That's it. But
No,
anyways,
I liked him in Mars Attacks because he died. But
but Tom,
Yes.
the floor is yours.
Okay.
What's something funny where you gave an honest opinion and you're like 20 minutes later, maybe I shouldn't have been that honest.
Oh, okay. I was working security. We used to have an AHL team that was like the minors to the NHL, and I used to work in the arena here locally. It was the Flames at the time, and I was checking the bathrooms. That's one of my tasks. Check the bathroom, make sure everything's no smoke and whatever there. So I'm doing one of the checks, and I seen 2 legs poking out from the bottom. Like, that seems weird. Are they puking? And I look in. Oh no, it's a girl blowing. Just but. I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do here? I quickly leave for a sec. I see one of the other guys. What should I do? I told him what's going on, and he said just get rid of them. So I go in. I knock on the. I was like, I'm giving you 5 minutes. Finish up. And I waited outside. When I waited outside, you guys get the hell out of here. I give him 5 minutes. I'm going to be nice, And I was nice enough to do that. And I was honest to my coworkers that I told them what to do, and then I left. I gave them 5 minutes. I came back in. They were gone. I didn't look that, So, but yeah, I was just honest to my worker about it and told him, listen, what should I do? He said, get rid of them. I gave him 5 minutes at least. So I had to. I mean, come on. And then, it's just being a gentleman. So they were gone. But
for a guy who looks like Michael Moore, you're a stand-up dude, man.
Oh, thanks.
I know, right? That's the confusing part about this. It's like, I like the guy, but he looks like Michael Moore. What should I protest in front of him? I should make a documentary.
I mean, seriously, if I'm in a position, she's doing, I'm like, I don't want to finish. Like, finish 5 minutes, boom, and go.
Tom, should we make? I have an idea. We should make a documentary about protesting Michael Moore and use you as Michael Moore.
Yeah, we can make a mockumentary.
Oh
yes.
That would be funny.
How funny? Because you
films right
look like him, and then we give you a little desk, and you be like, "I'm gonna vote for Trump," and then he backs away and all this shit. Blah 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 blah. And it's like you look like a transgender. He does, what? Not you, Tom, but Michael Moore. Mike Moore. He looks like a dude who looks like a chick disguised as another dude. Tropic Thunder, everybody.
It looks like somebody's angry Canadian aunt.
I know. Is he actually Canadian?
No.
Is he actually? Is Michael Moore? He is. Oh, he is.
I thought he moved.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm firing up. My whole life I thought he was Canadian.
No, I don't. I'm not sure he's Canadian. I think he's from Michigan, which is kind of almost.
No, he is. He is because he wears the fucking Michigan hat. Yes. So Michigan. No, my funniest thing of it is,
okay, he was born in Flint, Michigan. My mistake.
Yeah.
I retract all the years that I foisted him being Canadian on y'all. Okay, I'm still blaming for Celine Dion, but I apologize for Michael Moore.
You can blame it for him and Bieber, but no, he's not one of ours.
You know what? Every time I tag Tom in these episodes, I'm gonna tag Michael Moore. I'm gonna do it. I don't care. It's fun. Tom's like, I'm taking it as a champ. But one of the funniest things for me was I did date a chick in college, and I didn't get invited to.
I'll replace him.
We got a home invasion here in the RV.
I know, right? We're gonna mute someone real quick. I know, right? Wave. Like that's gonna stop anything. But I dated way before I got married in college. I dated a chick who was an artist, a makeup artist, who went to the Oscars one year. This is how much I didn't care because I didn't know what movie she worked on. I was like, I don't care. She asked me does this dress make me look fat? My idiot drunk face decided to say, yeah. Meaning FAFHAT, fat, like you're cool, dog. As I do that, I'm like, this is stupid. And she took that very serious and she didn't like the answer. And I was like, why are you getting mad? I was like, you're fat, like cool, like, hey. And she's like, no, you called me fat. I was like, no. And then I, on my dumbass face, said, well, I mean, you are, but you look good in the dress.
See, it's like I told my ex-wife. If I say something and it can be taken one of two ways, and one of them makes you mad or hurts your feelings, I meant the other one.
Yeah. Here's the thing. There's certain things, like if I know women watch the show. How do I know? I look at the algorithm of YouTube. It's predominantly women on YouTube watch this show more. Here's the thing, women. Don't ask us that question. Like, here's something else.
Right?
I know what.
I said, right? I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Don't ask us
Here's
that way
one-
because we might
Here's
tell
one
them.
thing. I told Mike this, and my wife flipped this on me. There's two sides when a guy is married, and Andy might agree with this. There's two sides of it. There's the married honest answer, and then there is the my answer. Like I saw this Instagram video, and I sent it to my wife, and she automatically texted me back saying, "Is this true? Is this chick got her nails done and she wanted to get her husband's opinion? Her husband's like, well, do you want the married answer or do you want me answer?" And she's like, what's the honest answer is me. And she's like, what's the married answer? He's like, it looks fantastic on you. By the way, they actually did. The nails looked really good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, all right, those are pretty good. And he's like, yeah, they look good. And then a few seconds later goes by. There's a few beats, and she's like, all right, what's the real answer? He's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like, that's the thing. It's when you're married, it's you kind of learn how to be honest. And there's some guys who've been married that are on this podcast and some who aren't. And or maybe some are, I don't know. And there's a certain point where you have to, if your wife or your, I'll say girlfriend, I'll put that in the categories. So inclusive, DEI, because we're all fucking conservative. Is when your person who you're dating or married asks you, hey, what do you think of this? Just honestly, if you want to avoid the conflict while you drive to brunch, just be like, the dress looks good on you. Like, half the time, I'll say this, 70% of the time, women, they pick out something good to wear. That's not a problem. It's if you want the honest answer, you're like, we don't care.
Gives you a bit of a muffin top.
But what I mean is in that side, we'll get to the next question. But what I mean is when a guy is dating someone or married to someone, we don't care. We're married to you or we're dating you. Like, I get it with like dating, like, look, we want to make you look really nice and presentable so we look good and all that stuff. When we're married, we don't care. Like, we done all the work. It's cool. Like, we love you for who you are. I don't care. What?
I think you're gonna Charlie horse.
He did.
Oh, okay. I thought he nutted himself.
I
I hate those. Yeah, they call it.
Hey, real
right,
quick,
so-
Suzanne and Rumble Chat. My mom's
Yes.
birthday is on Sunday too.
Hey, what up?
Sorry, it's muscle
So-
cramps from lack of water all day working.
Oh
in
yeah,
the sun.
that'll happen.
We'll go with that.
You know how you can fix that?
How?
Drink more water.
Drink more water.
Thanks. I am.
The alcohol dry that up. You actually want
Also, those
Here-
those element hydration packs, those work really well. I use those when I'm working.
Yeah. All right. So the next question we have up is a good one. Now that we got all the funny stories out, here's the good one. Right here. Is there, let me check on Rumble side. Okay, cool. It's up there. Is there such thing as being too honest? Ordy.
Having been born without the filter between my brain and my mouth, yeah. I mean, for those of you who have seen my Twitter feed, that's me in real life. That's those words come out of my mouth the same as they come out on Twitter. So, yeah, there is such a thing as being too honest. That's my that's my shtick, guys.
All right.
I have no filter. I'll just fucking blurt it out. There is no married answer, me answer. It's just, yeah, that looks like shit on you.
All right. Vincent.
Yeah, I gotta go with Orty. Definitely. there is definitely such a thing as being too honest. And
Mhm.
having been married 3 times, I can attest to this. So, yeah.
Canadian Spider-Man.
Yes, if yeah, I mean, say you did something that would hurt somebody, but then you fixed it. You absolutely fix it, so it's perfectly good. It's good. It's back to original, no problem. They whatever it was, a situation or a physical item, doesn't matter. And at that point, and they will not suffer any ill effects. They won't have any recourse. It's fixed. You solved it. You fucked it up, but then you fixed it. At that point, depending on what it is, but if it's going to cause them to let them know that situation had happened, if it's going to cause them distress or personally upset them, and I'm not talking about making yourself look bad. I have no problem with that and being honest about that. But if it's actually going to cause them pain or hurt, then it's best just to keep that to yourself. I think in that case, it would be being too honest. Now, but I have no problem admitting fuck ups if it's not going to hurt the other person and it's just going to make me look bad.
Yeah,
That's no problem.
It's like telling your wife, "Hon, I fucked your sister, but she wasn't as good as you."
But
out of all your sisters, you have the biggest tits.
But then if she died, you're not going to do it again because she's dead. So there's no point in telling. Like, you're just going to cause harm. Exactly.
Where did this go?
Vincent and Orty really took this to a turn. Like,
that's kind of what we do, Steve. You knew the job was dangerous when you took it.
I know. I realized I wanted to.
You knew what you were getting into.
I realized doing a men's show, this is what was going to happen. I was not expecting. See, this is what happens when you get Orty and Vincent on one show. Shenanigans. I swear they're in the same room right now. Just be like, hey, how are we going to do this? Like a bunch of Jews. Like, hey, let's make a bunch of bets. Tom. God, dude.
Steve, I've got to take care of this leg cramp. Sorry, I'll be right back.
I have 2 sister-in-laws. That's why it makes it awkward.
Anyway, yes.
Redeem the show.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go actually close to what he said, though. I mean, somebody said it in the room, actually. I have mild autism myself, so I have no filter in between, and I'm sometimes got myself in trouble.
We have filters?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wonder sometimes. But I agree. Yes, you can be too honest, 100%. Like he said, if I know somebody's feelings are going to be hurt, I'll just not say anything. I'll just, just avoid it altogether. Just walk away, whatever. Don't say anything. But for the most part, if I know it's something nobody's going to get hurt or anything, yeah, I'm going to say it. I've always done it. I believe in being truthful, honest. And by accident, I have hurt some people sometimes on my honesty, not thinking about it sometimes. But I'd rather be honest than lie to them. That's always been my opinion, straight up.
It's like Orty will know this line. Remember what Reverend Lovejoy said? Short answer, yes, with an if. Long answer, no, with a but.
Just don't rub it too hard. I
know any of the other major religions, they're all pretty much the same.
Yeah. So to give a quick update, Andy had loss of power. That's why he's not on right now.
Yeah,
the power's flickering because I don't live too far away from Andy. I'm about a 15-minute drive from him. And
okay.
I'm on
Mike, on the other hand, I don't know.
Internet problems. He's having
internet problems. That's why you go with Canada, eh?
Yeah, I got fiber optics. That's why I get fiber optics. I make sure it's good. So.
Oh, because I'm fancy. Because you're Michael fucking Moore, aren't you?
Exactly.
Right? I swear, I'm gonna tag. That's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna tag. The next question I'm gonna tag. I'm gonna share this on Twitter, and I'm gonna on X or whatever you want to call it, and put Michael Moore on there and see what happens. I'm gonna do it. Do it. Because you look like a spitting image of her. So
her what?
Because Michael Moore looks like a chick, like an old grandma. Just.
Like Michael Moore, Axl Rose,
Orty's all like
King could run a bookstore.
Yeah, Axl looks horrible now. It's just so good.
So one of the things with being too honest. Here's the thing: there is a such thing as being too honest, because I think a lot of guys, which comes into what next week's episode is going to be about, is a lot of people don't know how to handle being too honest.
Hmm.
It's next week's episode is going to be about having thick skin, and I struggle with it a little bit, and with some people, they don't know being too honest can be harmful. Actually, it can. It's
For some pretty adverse time, but yeah.
but sometimes it's a tough love. That's how I look at it. It's like, you know what? I have Gary and Andy. They've busted my balls, and be completely honest. There was a moment where I was going to shut down everything of this show just because of my depression, and he ripped into me personally, face to face, and it was a tough love. He was being I think way too honest, but in that I learned I need to overcome what I'm dealing with and just deal with it. When it comes to guys, bros, and a non-homo LGBT alphabet, whatever you want to call it,
Premium Plus.
yeah, Premium Plus. I will call it that. That's good. Like if Ordy or Vincent came to me, or Tyler, who just joined in and getting everything ready to join in the show, came to me, I'm going to be honest. Like, hey, how do I deal with this? Like, there's certain things I'm not gonna say, but I'm gonna be honest in a way where it pushes you. That's where I think guys are. It's when guys are honest, like just overly honest, we're trying to push you to be a better man. And a lot of guys, they don't know that spectrum. It's like when we did venting a few weeks ago, where it was, and for me, I struggle with this sometimes of venting. Like, it's depending on what it is. Like with my wife, I shouldn't vent my whole entire work life with my wife. Some things, yeah. If it's with another coworker, sure, I'll vent that. Like, this is what I'm dealing with. I hate this guy. I hate that. Why am I doing this? Like, that kind of stuff. But when it comes to honesty with guys, a lot of guys who do gaming, who watch fucking Star Trek and all that stuff, there's a point where they don't understand honesty. They're a little too honest, where it becomes distasteful.
Right.
Where, hey, Mike's back.
Mike.
I know. I'm trying. There's something really weird going on with my computer.
It's all good.
Yeah.
And there's a point where sometimes you don't have to give the full honest truth. You can give an honest opinion of things and be like, hey, this and this and that. Like, I've given some of you guys on the show and some people who've been on the show in the past my honest opinion on things, which is fine. But when you're just like, well, if you do this and that and that, it kind of pushes the person to a point where it's like almost, I don't know what the word is. It discourages you a little bit.
Right.
There's some guys you have to wean them into being honest. Like, the moment you get thick skin, man, you can take any honesty.
But
So
can I just jump on what you said. I believe it's the tough love thing is important. That's truthful.
Yeah.
Between brothers, and not just brothers by blood, but brothers like friends, your friends. If you can't be honest with them and give them tough love, if you know they're messing up, then that's something bad. You should be able to. And if they can't take it, but that's
like, here's a better example. If you have a buddy who is thinking about, like, hey, I'm about to go sleep with this chick, and he's already dating or married, that's the right opportunity. If you're really good friends with him, be like, hey, look, this is not a good idea.
No,
don't do it.
Agreed.
That's a good moment where you're like, hey, I'm gonna be fully honest with you. This is a bad idea. Taylor Swift is with us. I mean, Tyler Day. We talked about this last. We talked about this last night. He jumped into the Lego build Sunday, and I said, Taylor, just reading it really fast, and it was hilarious. Tyler, I'll ask this. What's a funny moment where you're like, I was honest, and it was like, maybe I shouldn't have been this honest? And I'll get to Orty next.
Damn. Do you want to do Orty first? What's up, y'all? Sorry I'm late. Yeah, let me get a minute to think about that. Funny example of when I was honest.
What were we gonna say, Orty?
Orty?
Orty, where'd he go?
Orty.
I feel like a part of myself is gone.
He's making an egg salad sandwich, isn't he?
That's what it is. Yeah.
You too, you and Vincent, you know, you making egg salad sandwich for each other. What were you gonna say? Yeah, what were we gonna say, Steve?
Egg salad sandwiches are good, but you need to have meat in them. So with ham, I highly recommend ham. Otherwise, it's almost a vegetarian sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, no, eggs are meat to it. Protein.
Yeah, no, they don't taste. No, I want if I come to you with a hard-boiled egg and you were expecting steak, I'm gonna get a punch in the mouth.
Especially when you fart. True. Nobody likes those.
I know, right?
Then you got bacon that shit up.
Exactly.
Is Orty around?
Bacon I am around.
Sausage. There he is.
Yeah, you're about to tune in, and then Taylor Swift decided to cut you off.
No, that's fine. No, to your point, though, I had a friend. We were sitting in the bar having drinks, and he told me, he was just pissing in his beer because his wife, went to go sleep with some other dude that she met on the internet back east, and then he's like, yeah, she's thinking about coming home, and I'm thinking to let her. I said, dude, right now you are part of the largest fraternity in the world, the cuckold, and she's just run off to go dick some dude, and you're gonna let her come. She left you with a kid for the last 3 weeks, and now you're gonna let her come back and pretend everything's fine. Can I fuck her when she gets back? Because she's kind of hot. Not to clean up.
Dude.
Yeah.
So
I had a friend in that exact same situation, except his wife went down to Australia for a month. And I'm like, dude, you need to just serve her papers as soon as she gets back.
Damn.
And then I introduced him to a neighbor, and he ended up dating her for quite a long time.
Nice.
There we go.
Anyways, as the train gets mad at what we're talking about,
not me.
Tyler, it is you.
Train
it's Michael Moore.
rolls
It's always
on.
Michael Moore. God damn. You liberals.
The train is just part of the show now.
Exactly.
I know, right? The train is. It's either between Mike and Tom.
New Brunswick doesn't have trains. We got rid of them all. What the hell?
No, that's Irving
Fireman.
trains. They're Irving trains. He gets shipments all the time and stuff, and Irving pretty much.
No, that's America. We got rid of the fucking choo-choos.
Yeah. Canadian Spider-Man, you just have birds going, tweet, tweet, motherfucker. Tyler, what is a funny moment where you're being a little too honest?
Oh, dude, just watching a friend be with the wrong girl and just being heartbroken over it. And like they had broken up, and he's consoling me and just really venting. And I'm like, yeah, dude, fuck that bitch, man. Like, she's got a weird looking face. Like, she fucking smells weird. We don't like her, dude. You can do so much better. And then they fucking worked it out and got back together right after that.
Awkward.
Yeah, let's just ignore the part where I said, yeah, your girlfriend's hurting in the face, dude. I can't walk that back.
Dude,
right, so what?
She looks like Quasimodo. Just dump her now.
So
She got hit with the ugly stick and hit every branch on the way down.
That's
Yes,
right.
she did.
All cats are gray in the dark, my man. Turn the lights off.
What?
So, all right,
Bag,
ask you
put it over
this,
my head.
Tyler. Oh, God, this is funny. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Tyler, right
love you
before
too.
we get to the next question, you need a little time. Don't worry, we can give you 30 days. It's okay.
Yeah.
Is there such thing as being too honest?
Yes. If your wife or girlfriend has recently put on some weight and she's feeling self-conscious, don't fucking shit on her. Don't be like, you know what, you're right, you have gained some pounds. There's no reason for that. I mean, you can, if it gets like really bad, and she's like really, her mental health is suffering, then yeah, there's polite ways of being like, well, hey, how about we get a gym membership and, you know, be supportive without just shitting on her. Like, yeah, you know, I'm not really turned on anymore because you've gained like 25 pounds. So there is definitely times where you can be too honest and shit just doesn't need to be said.
Yeah, no, that's right. I do remember.
I'll offer a rebuttal.
I also.
Yeah, I
What, egg salad sandwich?
Well, yeah, I'd give her an egg salad sandwich because I prefer
just
my
an egg
ladies
sandwich.
a tad on the Rubenesque side. Thank you. Not huge, but they must have a certain thickness, if you follow.
Girth.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't want to break.
You all have your own preferences. Nothing wrong
No,
with that.
what were you gonna say?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry if it's getting to the point, because if I was well, I've lived with 6 women, and yeah, not at the same time, but if one of them had been getting overweight, fat, to the point where it was affecting my how much I was attracted to her, absolutely, you got to say something, and I'll tell you why. Little thing that builds up called resentment. And that is a huge thing in relationships. And any man who spent more than a decade living with a woman knows this. Resentment eventually, now it might not be that year. It might not be 5 years. It might be 10 years. But it will cause issues. You got to be honest with her. And if that's a deal breaker, I'm sorry. If you put on 100, if you put on 50 pounds, if you put on 40 pounds, 30 pounds, I'm sorry. Deal breaker.
Lower.
Well, no, because out of 120 pounds,
3 pounds,
30 pounds is 25%.
2 pounds.
No, he does have a point, because you could be sitting there for, like being in a relationship with a woman for 10 years, and then, everything's fine, everything's hunky-dory, and you're sitting at the dinner table. She's like, would you like some wine? And it's like, you ruined my fucking life. That you don't want it to get to that point.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, what were you gonna say, Steve?
No, that was pretty much it. Because 120, I'm not very heavy, so my partner would be 120 pounds or less, and so you add on 30 pounds, that's 25%. I'm sorry, that's probably a deal breaker. Other women have height requirements. Believe me, I know about them.
I'll tell you what.
So
if that's a deal breaker, you send them my way, brother.
Hey.
But they're going to be 5 foot tall too, so that's 150 pounds at 5 foot tall.
I might have to rethink that one.
Hold up. Wait. So you said, hold up. Let's clarify this. At 5 foot, you said?
Yeah.
At 150 pounds?
That's a deal breaker.
Bring it.
Yeah.
36,
Bring it,
24,
baby.
36.
Bring it.
Yeah, if she's
Yeah.
5'3".
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Here's the thing. So you guys have probably that's a good question. Have you guys seen on Instagram, whatever, so TikTok, Snapchat, whatever, I don't know, Facebook, X, where the guy's like asking the chick like the height question?
Yeah.
She's like, he has to be this much height, and he pulls out a
scale.
A scale.
Thank you. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Artie. A scale, and she gets all.
Wasn't even me. I'm just sitting here keeping my fucking mouth shut.
That was me. Yeah, I seen that one. Yeah.
Okay.
You
have
no filter.
All I know is Artie's like, I'm not trying to get you canceled off any platform right now.
When have I ever said that?
I know, right? We're the most
join in solidarity.
But no, it's
I'm going down. I'm taking y'all with me.
So,
yes.
So I went to my wife
plan.
about this.
Doggo.
Whoa.
Doggo.
I went to my wife about this, and clearly she doesn't have a height preference because I'm 5'4". She's actually taller than me by like an inch. but she understands, the scale. Like if a woman's like, I want a guy who is 6'2", okay, step on the scale.
Yeah.
Now, is that a little honest? Too honest? Sure, but it's
Not too
If a-
honest. It's equality,
but-
bitch.
it is. But here's the thing: if a woman is going to be honest about what she wants in a guy,
Yep.
which hey, you know what? That's cool. If a woman wants a guy who's 6 foot, hey, I have no problem with that. Good luck. Evaluate your life choices after you've figured out that there's a lot of guys who are awesome that are under 6 feet. We can put a scale. Step on it.
There we
Figure
go.
it out.
Yeah, I'm only 5'6", and I like smaller girls, and I like Grimes. She's tiny. Have you ever seen Grimes? She's very thin.
Simp.
I am totally, but she's.
I'm glad
thin.
you didn't say Sydney Sweeney because I would just kick you
No,
off right
no.
now.
I mean, she's hot and all, but no. I mean, I like a
God.
booty on some girls, but yeah, I like thinner women, and I've always have. So but they got to be, I'm only 5'6", so nowadays they want 6 foot
You're
guys.
short.
Yeah, I know.
I'm the same. Yeah. And 150 pounds, I don't want her to be the same weight as I am.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Vincent,
Like-
how did we get on a show full of dwarves?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Wait,
6 foot.
hold up. Before I get to the next question, Ordy, how tall are you?
5'11".
How tall are you, Vincent?
6'1".
Okay, I am probably the shortest one here.
And Mike,
Yeah.
you're what, 6'1" too, aren't you?
I'm 6'1.5".
Yeah.
Yeah,
Huge. Mike's
yeah,
huge.
I've known. Yeah, he's tall.
I came up to his nipples.
Yes.
He's huge with a Y. He's
I would
You
know.
took the
Was
dick
on them.
joke to another level, Steve. All right,
Yeah.
so here,
Oh,
Taylor Swift-
really?
He was wearing a shirt.
I know.
Taylor Swift was like, "What did I get myself into? It's
I
okay.
could-
It's okay."
Just
But the next question, an important question I have: how can guys learn to be? Wow, I skipped a
Honest in a
what?
You were drinking.
No, I wasn't. I was sober when I did.
well, there's
this.
your problem.
okay. Next time you need to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? I should do that. I'll do that next week. How can a guy learn to be honest? What the fuck did I even say in this one? Oh, there's
We don't
the
know.
bottom part. All right.
How
How
can
can a
guys learn to be honest in an appropriate way?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you guys are struggling with that too. I thought I was having a stroke.
So
you smell
Taylor,
toast.
it's
I taste pennies.
so Taylor,
Yo.
because it's funny. How can guys learn to be honest?
Well, you see, the way I learned, to be honest, was I got my ass beat if I tried to lie to cover my ass. So when I was a kid, if I screwed up and I got in trouble, I got spanked. And if I lied to get out of it, it was so much worse. But as grown men, honestly, you're just going to eventually learn that people don't want to deal with you if you're not somebody that they can trust. If you're not reliable, if you are constantly just making shit up, nobody can trust you. Nobody wants to be around people they don't trust.
Yep.
So I honestly forgot the original question, and now I'm kind of just talking, but I think I answered.
Yeah, I'll answer it to you in a non-autistic way. How can guys learn to be honest in an appropriate way?
Yeah,
Because there is two sides. There is. It's
In an
being too
appropriate
honest. Too honest. That's what I'm going to say right now. Honest. Or
Well, think about your intention. Are you being honest just because you have to get something off your chest? Are you being honest with utter disregard to somebody's feelings? What's the intent there? I mean, I'm not saying that you should never lie, because the example I gave earlier, like, don't shit on your wife if she gained a little bit of weight, like, don't don't be mean just for the sake of honesty, but do your best to be honest as much as you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Michael Moore.
Okay. What was the question again? I had to get back out and in again. So
Jesus, man, you have a memory like a goldfish. No,
I
mine
do.
is.
How
gotta
can
pull it up right
guys
quick.
Learn to be honest in an appropriate way.
That's an interesting one. Inappropriate. I mean, really, what is inappropriate about being honest? In my opinion, honestly, it's not inappropriate to be honest. But again, like Tyler was saying, though, there's times like if your wife and stuff, and there's ways to go about it. You know, don't be mean and stuff about it, and why are you doing it as well? So, am I doing it just to get my own thing out to let people know? No. That's to me. But being honest to somebody if they're making mistakes, something like that. That to me is the best time to be honest, and when you should. Like if somebody's messing up, like cheating on his wife or cheating with somebody else, or if they're going to harm themselves or anything else, that's when you got to say, sit down, be straightforward with them, don't lie to them, be straight honest with them. You know, that's times like that is when you need to be honest. Always.
Yeah.
That's where honesty is at its most important. 100%.
Well said. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Mike.
Yeah, well, seeing how my internet buggered up and whatnot, and I didn't even know if you guys even heard my first answer to the first question.
No, you dropped out. Like someone asked you
I know.
that problem.
Okay,
Like, I don't want anything to do with it.
So let's spitball here. First question. Okay. First question. Funny moment or being honest was at the wrong time. Okay.
You better hop
exactly.
to it.
I was at work, was getting laid off. There was a lady that was sleeping around with management and stuff like that. When I got laid off, there was a lady that was sleeping around with management. When I finally got laid off, she said bye, and I said bye, you skanky whore. So that was the first time I was actually very honest.
That's a little too honest.
That was pretty much it. So that was a funny moment, and everybody applauded. So, is there such a thing as being too honest? No, because thou shalt not lie. So, if it's, you know what, you can be honest in a gentle way, but being too blatant, well, no, hey, I was very extremely honest. So, you know what, I just call it how I see it, Chuck.
All right.
Too honest? Probably not. I would rather somebody be blatantly honest with than sugar-coated and not getting the entire message. But that's just me. So,
I'll give you a
as
scale.
for question number 3, this question right now. I know. So how can guys learn to be honest in an appropriate way? Okay, my answer to that is, you know what? When you're caught in a lie, and hopefully if you got a modicum of shame, and I'm trying to be a little bit kind of cunning with my words here.
You cunning linguist, you.
Oh, you.
My cunning. You cunning linguist. You know what? If you got a modicum of shame, then at least you should learn from that and get into the habit of being honest. Be a man of integrity. Use that thing that you should be using called a bit of wisdom and think that, okay, if I tell a lie, I'm going to get caught more than likely eventually down the road. Because when you constantly lie, even if it's one lie or 1,000 lies, eventually you're going to get caught. Nobody's going to want to be around you. Nobody's going to want to be with you. There's going to be multiple problems in your life. So you know what? You might as well just get into the habit of being honest and truthful. And it's as simple as that. Cry. That's right. Precisely.
Who's going to cry right now?
Baby Jesus. So,
there you go.
But the thing is, that's right. The thing is, get into the habit of being honest, being truthful. Then that way, everybody's going to see you for the man that you are, a person of integrity, a person of high moral standards, at least. And then that way, nobody can point the finger at you and say, oh, well, I don't like that guy because blah, 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 blah. No, they're going to remember you for being blatantly honest about any kind of situation that you might be particularly in at that time. And people aren't going to fault you for it because they're always going to come to you, even if they have a question or a problem or something like that, and they know they're always going to get an honest answer from you, no matter what.
Yeah.
Speak
I do
the
wanna-
truth, and people will listen.
I do want to point out one thing, Canadian Spider-Man. You don't have to flex your shirt out. It's mostly dudes watching, so just
that's okay.
Why are you being
cunning that way?
Hot.
Vincent's like, hey, how you doing?
No,
My name is Vincent.
because I wrote in the
call
part.
me Vince.
I wrote in the private chat, Steve. There is a driveway. I'm parked in my driveway, and there's a driveway partying because spontaneous fucking parties happen around here, and so now there's a driveway party happening. So I had to roll up all the windows so we don't get contaminated with music.
That's why I need to come over to do a plotter. I needed to come over to do a party and then a fiesta. Vincent.
Because Spidey's feeling a surge of heat right now. So there we go.
Dude,
I want to party with you, cowboy.
You have a bunch of those ready to go.
I just got a bunch of business cards, and it's amazing what I've collected over the years. So I got even one for Filipino stuff. So there you go. Yeah.
Vincent.
I don't think I can really top what everyone else has said because basically they've stolen things that I was going to say because they're dishonest and lying. No, the big thing about it, I'm old. All right, I'm pushing 60.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
my father was big on one thing, honor.
Yeah.
Honor, which is integrity. Another word for integrity anyway. And when I fucked up when I was a kid, when I lied, I got the shit beat out of me. I remember one time I took, he was asleep, and I took $10 out of his wallet. If I had taken a 20 because there was like 6 or 7 20s in there, he wouldn't have noticed. But I took the one $10 bill that was in there, and he beat the dog shit out of me. And I learned at a young age, do the right thing.
Yep.
As far as not stealing, not hurting people intentionally, telling the truth.
Yeah.
Because without your honor, you're not a fucking man.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody's.
Are you sure your dad's not the same dad as mine?
Could be. You kind of resemble me slightly, except with less hair and you're shorter. But yeah.
I got nothing.
But anyway, egg salad sandwich. No.
Ooh.
No, that's it. There's nothing else to really say about it. You want to be the best possible man that you can be. Tell the truth. Have integrity. Do the right thing. Just don't be a fucking scumbag. The world is filled with scumbags. Why be one of them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Be your own man.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Vincent's boyfriend, Ordy,
he is not my boyfriend. He's my paramour. Big difference.
There's that one time our girlfriends were out of town. You better not be starting any rumors.
Hey, whoa. Look, I may be the camera operator on that one, but whatever. Ordy, what is your thoughts on this one?
Well, okay, so not to parrot the same thing that basically everybody else said. Earlier I mentioned I was born without the filter between the brain and the mouth. I just say what comes to my mind. If I know there is no way for me to answer the question without being hurtful, I'll straight up say, don't ask questions you're not ready for the answer to.
Yeah.
And that gives them a moment to be ready for, do they really want to know? Do they really want to ask that question? Or if they are intent on asking it, they are ready for a blunt response.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good compromise. That's a good idea.
For me, I have to look it up right quick. What the question I wrote it out.
I don't know if Canadian Spider-Man went.
Oh, wait,
I
yeah,
did
Canadian
not. But
Spider-Man.
Steve, you can.
No, I'll let you go first.
Why? Thank you.
Mean
I have
less.
quite a bit. I have quite a bit about to say this.
Yeah.
My father grew up. I grew up with a family of four, and my father was a government prosecutor. He put bad guys in jail, and eventually he became to head the whole crown prosecutions for the whole friggin' government of my entire province. And he was as honest as they come. And over his time running that department, a lot of other provinces had scandals with justice ministers and all kinds of backhand deals. And Dad was clean. He was a straight arrow guy, and everyone in town knew it. The cops, the lawyers, the judges, everybody knew it. And that rubbed off on me huge, big time. And I don't know whether I went to Sunday school as a kid until they wouldn't let me come back, and I went to Boy Scouts, and so I think that also had an influence. Although I'm certainly not religious now, but I still hold that value. And so I got to say to those of you asking that question to yourselves, the benefits of being honest and getting a reputation like that, it's people trust you with a lot, and people will help you out whereas they wouldn't otherwise, and they would do things and trust you with things that they otherwise wouldn't. And so if you want to look at it as selfish reason for being honest, that's one of the reasons. Also, it's less stress being honest, and so how you do that is start out with honesty, and maybe some emails to friends, or maybe some social media posts. Just start with a little honesty, and maybe start with like a brazen honest truth that's going to really that's really going to maybe shock some people or a person, and like being brutally honest, and just try it once, and I don't know about the rest of you, but if their reaction is strong enough, you get a bit of adrenaline from like just saying, as you're saying it, you get adrenaline from being this honest, and this there's a better word for it, open. And there's a bit of adrenaline rush that comes with it. So, and adrenaline is addictive. So that's how you start.
Yeah.
Sure. To answer your question directly, do it once. Maybe start with social media, or start with an email, or start with a family member, someone you can trust, and just be brutally honest. And if it's your first time, you'll get adrenaline from it, and that becomes a little bit addictive. And then you'll do it again, and it'll become easier and easier and easier. And once you have a reputation, it is. Thank you, cathartic. And once you've got that reputation, then you'll enjoy the benefits that come with being brutally or being honest. No stress, not having to remember what the what you told them the last time, and getting trust and respect from other people, and then it'll be the adrenaline, but also the benefits that will keep you doing it. So, but you got to start with that first step, and then it'll become addictive.
Yeah. This was a tough one for me, because you get people who think they know what honesty is. And then, like, I've helped a bunch of people who do YouTube, who do business and everything in the film aspect of everything. They're like, hey, I want to know this, I want to know that. Do you want my honest opinion? Sure. This is how you do it. And they don't like what I say because I'm being too harsh. But in that, I'm helping them, like, hey, look, I'm helping you mold how you want to approach, how you want to do your show, how you want to do your YouTube channel, Rumba channel, whatever it is. then whatever social network that you're going to be doing. It's if you ask me a question about film, I'm going to give you the honest answer. Like, do this and that and that. And for a second there, I looked at Tom and I thought he had a wig on right now for Whoopi Goldberg. It's his chair.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, what? But it's, I think a lot of guys need to understand that life is not easy. You're gonna get blunt, honest answer on any situation comes at you, whether it be for your little stupid stream that you're doing on YouTube or Rumble, whatever it is, or if you're trying to make something with your career, doing construction, graphic design, or anything. It's if you're asking someone, hey, how can I improve this? Just be ready for the answer. Don't get offended. That's the other thing. Don't get offended by what the person's going to say, because you're asking someone who knows what they're talking about and has experience and who has been working through that. Like with Orty, if it's with like radio podcasts, like if someone who says, hey, I want to get into this podcast stuff, Orty's I guarantee is gonna be like this and this and this. If you get offended by anything that he says, it's like that's on you, because he's helping you. That's how. If someone came to me and like, hey, how do you do editing? How do you do this stuff? I'm going to be blunt honest. I know when Mike asked me, hey, this and that of editing, I flat out told him, I was like, you're fucking nuts for doing this. I was being way too honest. But at the same time, I'm like, trust me, if you do this, you're going to hate your life.
Now you're drinking water.
Yeah, now he's, what? And it's depending on who the person is, that's how honest you have to be. If it's with Andy, Gary, anyone pretty much on this show, I can come to you and you can be completely honest with me because you know who I am. I can come to Gary or Andy and they'll hit me with a brick and I'm like, oh, okay. You have to have thick skin when it comes to being honest when you're asking someone, hey, how do I do this? It comes down to how much can you handle the truth on things. I've met some people who did YouTube channels and they're like, hey, how's this? And a part of me wants to say, like, you're not going to last long. You don't show your face. You don't do this. You don't do that. That's just me. I didn't tell him that. But because I knew he couldn't handle it, of how honest I was going to be. But guys, we have to be able to take as much amount of honesty as the person's going to give us. If you know, like if I go to Orty, I know exactly what he's going to say. He's going to give me the blunt, honest opinion on something. Or Vincent. And then he's going to throw an egg salad sandwich halfway through. And I'm like, what the fuck does egg salad sandwich have to do with anything about looking like a stud? You got
to release your burden behind the Circle K.
Exactly. Like, what? But in that, it's depending on who you're asking for honesty, get to know the people that you know. Like, I can go to Tyler and as a truck drives by and be like, hey, this and that. And he can give me a complete honest opinion of something. It's a lot of guys don't know how to handle honesty. It's
because they don't want an honest opinion. They want permission to keep doing what they've been doing. You're doing great. Keep it up.
Yeah, they want lip service. That's what they want.
It's this idea where we're comfortable. All of us are comfortable with giving our opinion or honest about something. But the moment we get the honesty back at us, we feel uncomfortable. We don't want to handle it. We don't like it. Guess what, Buttercup? Deal with it. Because the people who are giving you the honest opinion about things, they're your closest friends. Like you guys could pretty much tell me in a DM, hey, don't send that tweet, don't do this, don't do that, and I'm actually gonna be like, okay, I'll evaluate what you said. Cool. All right, I'll delete the tweet or whatever it is. I'll edit it, whatever it is, because you guys look out. That's the other thing. When guys are honest with other guys, we're looking out for each other. We don't want you to look like an idiot, even though Gary and Andy make me look like an idiot sometimes. But they tell me personally, like, look, you should correct. Like, even there's a private DM. Andy texted me personally. He's like, it's here, HERE, not here, like HEAR. I was like, oh, thank you very much. Be okay with the criticism. Thank the person because they took the time to actually be like, hey, look, this. Like, that's the thing. Like, it drives me nuts when you get people who come on YouTube and all that. I'm going to go on a fucking rant right now. When they go on fucking YouTube and all this shit and they think they're all high and mighty and then you correct them, you took the time to actually out of your day of work. And then you're like, hey, how about you don't do this? Don't do this. Like, I'm going to be blunt, fucking honest with you. Don't go and mouth your little stupid mouth off on whatever show, movies, whatever it is. Like, I'm here to help you out and save you from a lot of criticism so you don't look like a fucking jackass online. That's the worst thing. If you look like a fucking jackass online, for me, I don't care. I'm a jackass online all the time. I don't care. But if someone came to me like, hey, look, how about you correct this?
Real life.
Okay, cool. But if someone actually, here's the moment where you stop being honest. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But if you're helping someone out, whoever it is, and they just don't listen, is it okay to be like, you know what? I'm done being honest. I'm done helping you. I'm moving on. I can't take this is I'm not paid to do this shit. Is it okay to do that?
Basically.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, completely.
I think so. You know,
I'm going to jump in just if you don't mind.
Yes, Michael Moore.
Yeah, okay, cool. On that part, if you're going to ask a question, like we talked about us being honest, if you're asking a question, you want a truth answer. That's how you grow, by getting an honest answer back. Mm-hmm. Be okay to be humiliated and have humility to say, okay, maybe I'm going to learn something from this, what you just told me. Yeah. You know, don't be afraid to like, okay, hey, you know, and I'll tell a quick story. Just when it was in Montreal in my early 20s, and now this was from a girl, honesty, but she was more like one of the boys. She was one of my close friends, and I was just there. Young guy in my 20s enjoying Montreal, a lot of strip bar, blah, 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 blah. She's like, Tom, get the hell off your ass. Get doing this and that. I'm like, oh, wow. She was blunt right to my face. And like, you're right. You're right. I needed to hear that. And then I smartened up. And then I think I moved. That's when I came out to Calgary with you years ago, you know. So, but it was like that. She gave me the honest truth. Like, get off your ass, get doing shit. And then boom, like, oh, okay. And I always appreciated that. And I always, since that day, I appreciated somebody being blunt and honest with me. And I was always tactful up until I turned 50. Once I turned 50, it's like weird. You turn 50, you're blunt and honest, and you don't care anymore. Yeah. But it's like, yeah, I want to. If I'm going to be humiliated by things, but I'm going to learn something from it, I'm okay with that because that's how you improve yourself. You know.
But in that, it's.
But yeah, you give up. If you're not listening and they're just keep on, I'd be like, no, I'm done. Back, I'm done. You're not listening. Go. You know.
Because what I've learned over the few years is helping people. And they don't, if they ask me like, hey, how's this? How should I do this? How should I do that? And I go, all right, here, you want my honest? It's like when you're married, do you want my production honest or you want my real honest? What's your production honest? Don't do this. What's your real honest? Don't fucking do this. And then they do exactly the opposite of what you say. I'm like, at what point do you say, I'm done being honest? That's the other thing. There's a point where you can be honest with someone and be like, hey, look, I'm here for you. I want to help you out. Whatever you want, I'll be honest with you. But the moment they just trash it, you're like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm out. This is wasting my time. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not
See,
going to
that's
do
when
it.
you give another level of honesty of, so you didn't take my advice the 3 previous times. Why would I give you any more now?
Yes, perfectly said.
Exactly.
Perfectly said.
Exactly.
Exactly.
On that note, I like that. I did a little rant. I should do more Rancor Unhinged because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It's
I
a
would
lot
agree.
of fun.
There you
Just
go. That's a new show. You can do it on Thursday night.
okay.
It's not opposite
That-
the culture shift.
Yeah.
I'll go against the View. There we go.
That would.
Oh god.
Yeah. There you go.
But on that note, I want to get to one of my favorite
Because that would be a cunning move.
Oh, you dick. You- Funny.
Oh god.
So
Is okay.
so I'm trying to act professional here, everybody. So at the end of the show, we like to do a tip of the hat. It used to be a fake Shriner's hat, where we pull out a name out of a
Well, a
hat,
fez.
but a fez. You know what? You're not a Mason. Whatever.
No, but I play one on TV.
I bet you do. What?
No, he's not a Mason. He's not a Freemason. He's a stone cutter. They're better.
Right?
Yeah.
Who keeps
There's
the
2
metric
Freemasons on the show.
Who controls the English crown? Who keeps the metric system down? We do.
We do. We do.
See? Everybody knows. Masons don't have a song, do they?
Yeah.
No, they don't. That's what I
Join
thought.
and find out.
Yeah.
And they don't have Steve Gutenberg.
No.
Oh, that's right.
Damn right.
There's
Exactly.
2 Freemasons
Yeah.
on the show. Knock and find out.
Yep.
You know. At the end of the show, I like to do a tip of the hat where everyone now gets to pick something individually that they like. Hey, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, whoever it might be. Yeah, we're gonna go with Michael Moore as in Tom.
I'm trying to think now. On the spot. Now we have to make it up.
Do you need extra time?
No. Actually, I'm going to say something that
All right.
you
You have a week to figure this out.
Damn it.
I'm going to say it
What?
right now. You. Because you've
Why?
allowed me. It's been a while since I've been on the show now. You gave me the opportunity to come on here. And it's changed my life. I'm not going to lie. Because now I'm actually with an Alpha Men's Club. We meet every Thursday. We're trying to, they're all married. I'm the only one that's not married, but they're actually helping me with some business stuff, some ideas. He's giving me ideas. This guy's meeting with other guys to talk and just, and I really enjoyed it. It's every Thursday. And it's made me look at things a little bit more open-minded and stuff on other ways, because sometimes you get stubborn when you get older, but no, I'm still learning. I'm growing. I'm looking to build my own business as a filmmaker, photographer, and now in the podcasting world. And you were a big reason bringing me into the show. Guys talking about, and I'm a proponent, you know me, of men's mental health, something that it's not a 1 month thing. It should be an all year thing. I push that. I'm actually doing my vlog now. I just did my first one recently, and I wanted a little bit of talking about my hometown, and another part will be talking about men's mental health. And I want to be a proponent of pushing that now, making that into something, because it's something we need to talk about as men, about each other, because it's not talked about enough. I mean, 77%, enough said. So, and you always said, like, you didn't believe in yourself in this. What you do is amazing. This is something that's needed. Men need this kind of show, and it needs to be broadcast more, well-known more. And what you've done is an amazing job here. And I admire you for doing this. And it's something that needs to be brought out there more, and it needs to be spread. And like, share, subscribe, everybody, by the way. And yeah, I'm just being honest, straight out, not blowing smoke. I'm just being honest. And I thank you.
All right.
So,
It brings a lot of gray hairs, but yeah.
Oh, I got a lot of them. You just shaved them off.
You would. Well, no, thank you very much. That means a lot. Ordy.
Well, since Michael Moore took my answer, I'm going to go
Yes,
with Willis
it's
H.
working.
Carrier, the inventor of air conditioning, without whom I would not be able to live in this wonderful place that has the best scenery and hiking and camping and sportsmen and everything else. But
LA?
yeah, because when I'm not out doing that, it's air conditioning.
Mm, mm.
And even with the air conditioning, I make ball soup. So thank you, Willis H. Carrier, for your ingenuity. And yeah, I just Googled that on the spot because
I like the honesty. I like the honesty on that.
That was awesome.
Vincent. Egg salad
I'm gonna no.
Yeah.
Who invented the egg salad sandwich? No.
Chickens.
hang on, I'll find out.
No, don't do that. You bastard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to tip my hat to Ordy because Ordy
Oh.
helped me.
Mm.
He kept telling me, get your shit together. Get your shit together with regards to starting my own podcast. And the lesson took. It was that one day, I just said, fuck it. I asked him for some advice on what software and all that other good shit to use, and he told me. We got together, and he did my first episode with me, and
That was fun.
it was fun. It was the most fun I had in a long time, and I just want to thank him for that.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for helping me get my shit together.
Your shit.
See?
Get it together. Put it in a box, put it in a bag, take it to the shit store, take it to the shit museum, whatever you got to do, but your shit.
See,
Get it together.
here's the thing. When Ordy says get your shit together, it kind of scares me a little bit because it's kind of
Yeah.
like the dad finger right in front of your face.
That's pretty much it.
Like, I don't know what Ordy looks like. He could be skinny, he could be fat. I don't know. Or bald with long hair. Like, Jeff, it's with a long hair, long beard.
But then you imagine the Harrison Ford finger pointing at you. Get your shit
See,
together.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you're like, okay.
I'm picturing more of a Lady Godiva kind of thing, but
You
masculine.
would.
Yeah.
You would.
Riding in on my horse. Naked.
Yeah.
With heaving bosoms.
Exactly.
Vincent's like, I don't know what to do with this, but I'll suck. What? Mike.
There is no one inventor for the egg salad sandwich, by the way.
Damn it.
I know. Damn it.
Paradise Lost. Let's
But
see.
it does rely on mayonnaise that comes from the French town of Bayonne, known as Bayonnaise.
Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, yeah. So somebody for a tip of the hat. Okay. I'm gonna pick this one guy. And this guy, he was the third of 7 children that basically lived in and grew up in abject poverty, right?
Thank God it was not me.
No, it wasn't you, but you're close. Yeah, I know.
It's more than a poor black man.
Well, you're close. Yeah, he's more Hispanic, but grew up in abject poverty. He left school at 17 years old, or at least a couple of months before he turned 17. And and over the years, he didn't like the way the government was going in his country, but pretty much by the end of his life, his net value was about $30 billion US, right? Coming from absolutely nothing, and transformed his entire country, sitting on that much wealth by the time he died. And that man, folks, is Pablo Escobar. So there you go.
All right.
Other than that, I have nothing. So
All right. That works. That works.
Yeah.
He also
Hard-
introduced hippos into the South American ecosphere.
that's right. What man would have the balls to do that kind of thing?
For a second there, I thought you meant Elon Musk, and I was
Well.
like, wait a minute. This is getting a little too crazy. And then all of a sudden, I thought Escobar in my head. I was like, no, he does not mean him.
Well,
How did it
Uh,
work out for the
I had
hippo?
nothing after that. So,
Canadian Spider-Man. A tip of the
Yeah,
hat.
I'm curious as to how that worked out for the hippos. I
they're
didn't see
still
any
there.
in Peru.
I think they caught them.
They caught, yeah, I believe they caught most of them, if not all of them. But yeah,
Yeah.
they were going on quite a rampage there for a while.
Yeah.
Were eating like rabbits.
Hopefully, they provided a lot of meat for the citizens. So,
Canadian Spider-Man.
that's a barbecue.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
say
got to
your
say,
mom or Canadian hockey, we're gonna have to.
No. my mother's youngest brother. Yeah, my Uncle Joe.
Beeper.
Yeah, I can remember as a young kid. He was my uncle when I was just like maybe. I remember just being just maybe 5 or 4, 5, 6 years old like that. And he was always joking around and having a great time with the kids and entertaining us because he was probably 10 years older. And then when I was in university, he foolishly let me come on and apprentice electrician with him at the university during the summers. And that was he taught me a lot about electrical safety, a lot of just general electrical concepts when you're and good practices as well, just when you're doing any electrical work. And that has saved me, I'm sure, from unintentionally electrocuting myself many times. So I'll go to do something and something he told me will ring true. He's an incredible man. Accidentally, he did, and he's tough too. He blew himself off. Never put your arms around sprinkler pipes with your aluminum ladder in water while working on electrical that the guy tells you is off. Blew himself 8 feet horizontally, and then again down
Windy, I can
onto
fly.
concrete. And man, you know what? After several months of intensive care, he got back up and got back on that horse and continued to feed his family and with his kids and his wife and support them and still even though he's in retirement now, people come to him, they're waiting for 2 months to get an electrician to do something pretty simple, and he'll go ahead and help them. He's always willing to help out anyone. And if you are an electrician, how many friends all of a sudden you develop because everything more and more is electrical. He's always one to help out and teach others. That's another important aspect, is teaching other young men how to handle electricity safely and not be a jackass with it. So tip of the hat to my Uncle Joe.
All right. Taylor Swift. I mean Tyler Day.
Who, me? I feel like that's a nickname that's gonna stick, and I don't.
Oh, it is.
Like it. Beans. Anywho, I got to give it up for my cousin Chad. He's a couple years older than me. I think he's 42. Just fucking chill dude. For one, I've never once seen him have an outburst, be angry, air out his dirty laundry. He's always just even-tempered, chill, dependable, reliable, just a really good, solid, just family man. He's in the mental health fields. He works at a criminally insane hospital. That alone is like, fuck, dude, like your job is gnarly. For his hobby, well, he has many. He likes to surf, skate, and motocross is his main thing. Wow. So he's very good at motocross. His entire garage is just adorned with trophies, and
nice.
I've got to see him race a couple times, and like, fuck, dude, that guy is good. So good, in fact, that he was actually offered to go pro and be on the professional circuit, and he turned it down. And I was like, dude, why would you turn it down? And he's like, man, I don't want to be away from my wife, my daughter. I have a good job. I mean, motocross, yeah, it's a hobby and I love it. It's just, my daughter's only young once. And the fact that he could make probably way more money, travel the world doing his hobby, and he turned it down just to stay close to, with his family is, man, that is so commendable, I think. So I got to tip my hat to my cousin Chad.
All right, that's cool.
Wow.
Did I miss anyone else?
Chad's a Chad.
Yeah,
Total.
it's not.
He's a
It's
Chad
not a
for sure.
Karen. It's not a Karen. For me, oh, I'm gonna say my father-in-law. This one, it's a tough one because he's never had a son, and I was the first one as like his son-in-law, all that stuff, and I was the guinea pig in my wife's side of the family, and there's a lot of issues when it comes to that where you're the first one and all that stuff, and coming from me, there's a lot of like, how do I fit in? And the moment when him and I talked, there was like an hour drive. I was driving, so he was stuck with me. Good luck, Buttercup. And there was a conversation after 6-7 years of being married to my wife, and we finally had a conversation, and it was probably the best conversation I've ever had with him. And he understood, you're an adult. Like, he didn't know how to handle having son-in-laws. Like, he's only had daughters. He didn't know how to have sons, pretty much. And seeing how he actually is willing to sacrifice his work and everything to have a family, it makes me look at me of like, I want the same thing. Like, I may not have it as
Ride.
what?
I just heard sirens. Here comes my ride.
Oh yeah. But it's with him, I understood what a dad was like. Because eventually one day I want to be a dad, but it's down the road. Yeah. But it's not in California, that's for sure. But just seeing how he interacts with his daughters makes me go, you know what? I want the same thing. Because I know God's going to bless me with daughters, which I want. I just want sons. That's all. I just want sons. They're a lot easier to handle.
No,
You know?
daughters are God's revenge for being a man.
I know. every guy I know who, probably not Mike, but every guy I know who has daughters, like, I just wish I had a daughter. I had a son. But how he actually works and builds a family, man, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of determination. And I tip my hat off to my father-in-law because he's a baller. He worked really hard where he wants to get, retired, doing awesome things. And I now know in probably about a couple months from now, he's gonna be like, I want to do some more work. I don't want to be retired my entire life. And I'm like, let's build something. So I love my father-in-law. He's taught me a lot of things about how to be a man, how to be a husband, and how to be emotional when the time is right. So on that note, next week is going to be a fun topic. It's how to have thick skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of you pussies out there who don't have a thick skin, who think you have a thick skin. Guess what, Buttercup? This is the episode to learn that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Mike and I are looking at each other like, we know who you're talking about. Next week, we're going to talk about how to have a thick skin in things, and which is very important. Vince and his boyfriend Orty should understand that. I'm just kidding.
You're just jealous, Steve.
Maybe.
Don't judge. Don't judge our love.
Oh, but
Maybe.
next week we're going to talk about thick skin, and then the week after that, I'm trying to get a couple people on the show. July is probably the 80s movie kind of episode. If not, that's going to be in August. I'm in talks with a couple of people, Tom Connors and a few other people, to come on and just talk about those things. But next week, we're going to talk about how to have thick skin. I should try to get Gary Ambrose on. The entire episode is just him roasting me. That's pretty much what it is. I want to thank everyone. There won't be a Lego build this weekend. I have family coming in this weekend, so I'm just not going to do any streaming this weekend. But you can tune in next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Or you can find me on Not Rank or Steve on X, or you can go to the Instagram, which I just decided, hey, let's do it at Rank or Steve. Or if you can find all these numbskulls, great guys on X, talk to them, hang out with them. They're a lot of fun. I want to thank everyone, Canadian Spider-Man, Michael Moore, Tom, Taylor Swift, Tyler, Mike, Vincent, Orty, and Andy. Thank you very much. And everyone in the chat, thank you very much. If you want to support the show, you can subscribe, send it out on Rumble. You can do a monthly subscription. You can even do rants, whatever you feel like doing. I don't care. We'll keep doing this show. It doesn't matter. Even if it's one person watching, we'll still keep doing the show. On that note, I want to thank you. Hold up. I have to have one person give us send off. I keep doing this, man. Why do you guys don't remind me of anything? Yeah, I know, right? Where is it? Where is
What
it?
about
Where
me?
is
You
it?
didn't thank me.
I did thank Orty. I said Orty.
You didn't do
Unlike
anything.
Orty, Orty
being
wants a
thanked.
second dose of thank you.
Yeah,
On
I
that
know,
note,
Jose.
I want the greatest president of modern time to give us a send off.
And we say bye-bye.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
He's